Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we are going to be doing battle Avalon versus downtown Alpharetta and which one is better for you. Now, I've done individual videos on both of them as I've lived in both locations, but we're really going to dive into the pros and cons of each and how they have similarities and big differences that might impact what you're looking to do, whether it's just a day out or if you're actually thinking about living in those locations. Now, stay tuned to the end and I will give you my personal opinions on the way I would approach living in each or just going out, whether it's a weekend or looking for things to do. So we're going to start with Avalon. Now, Avalon is definitely a mixed-use community, but it's an upscale blend of high-end apartments, shops, and restaurants, really giving you that urban feel that a lot of people look for, especially if they're more used to being in the city and don't necessarily want full suburban lifestyle. Now, starting with an overview of Avalon, it is relatively new, only opening in 2014, and it is a mixed-use luxury development with a blend of high-end apartments, living, shopping, and restaurants. Now, the one thing that people look for when it comes to Avalon is the urban feel, the walkability, and it is a bit tech forward, especially when you think of a suburb location. It is kind of its own little city center presence. Now, as far as the pros, Avalon does kind of create this one-stop shop. It has everything in one location, from boutique shops to dining, fitness, and a ton of entertainment options. Now, residents can walk everywhere within the development and it gives this city-like feel. It's open container, so if you want to grab a drink and walk around, that's great, and it is very pet-friendly as well. The apartments and homes alike are both designed with high-end finishes, luxury feeling, and they do have upscale amenities, whether you're looking for fitness activities or things to do in the nearby area. So it does kind of cater towards that higher income demographic historically. Now, one of the pros going for Avalon is the fact that it is quite large. It's 86 acres and does kind of give something for everyone, especially whether you're looking for just walking around, shopping, dining, entertainment. They have outdoor yoga classes, seasonal markets. There's a winter ice skating rink in the pavilion, and you do have the anchors like the Regal Cinema and the Avalon Hotel. So it's not just a place where you would be as a resident. You could make a day trip of it from the weekend. It's a great stay location area because you have everything right at your fingertips once you exit out of the hotel or any nearby areas. Especially for kids or teenagers, they do have this little train that goes around. It is very walkable, so on the weekends, it's kind of one of the hangout spots because everything is on the main boulevard strip and you don't have to worry about straying too much or incoming traffic because there are so many pedestrians walking around. Now, one of the cons of Avalon is it almost worked out too well. It does give off this kind of hoity-toity luxury feel where it is just this luxury presence, especially with the shops, that may rub some people the wrong way. And it doesn't really give off that small town feel that Alpharetta in general is known for. On the weekends, especially during the holidays or big seasonal events, it can get very, very busy and parking is challenging even though there's parking everywhere there. So I would brace for that if you are going to visit, especially if it's a Friday to Sunday. Just buffer some extra time trying to find parking spaces, getting around, and just know that you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. It does really get that urban feel, especially because it's kind of densely compact. Now, moving over to downtown Alpharetta, one of the nice things is we do actually have the Alpha Loop that connects Avalon to downtown Alpharetta. So it's something that if you did want to explore, especially on foot or bike, you could actually get directly from Avalon to downtown Alpharetta without driving. And there's a ton of townhouses and communities that have gone up alongside of that, as well as a nice little creek and path. So it is kind of scenic and enjoyable to walk down. Now, as far as downtown Alpharetta goes, it is very similar, at least in my mind, to Avalon, but it's the polar opposite in terms of feel. You have this kind of quaint, historic, small town feel, which is very charming. And especially when it comes to shops, what you're trading in is the high-end luxury brand name places that everyone knows for more boutique local shops and resellers, which gives it more of a personalized feel, especially when you're going in. You kind of know that you're supporting a small local business, and it's a little bit nicer than your everyday store that you would find in a mall somewhere. Now, a nice thing about downtown Alpharetta is similar to Avalon, it does have an abundance of restaurants and places to go, whether you're looking for a drink, a nice date night, and a dinner. And it is a little bit more spread out, so it creates a little bit better ambiance for a casual stroll as you're going up these kind of charming historic streets. Now, if you're looking for things to do there, one of the nice benefits of downtown Alpharetta is it does have a lot of events as well itself. Now, they have the farmers market, which runs the majority of the year on the weekends, early Saturday morning, which is going to be on the main green area. Then you have Art in the Park, Taste of Alpharetta, the Wine Festival, and a few other community events where they shut down the streets. You have a lot of local vendors that come up, set up shop, and it does feel more of a community close-knit feel. Now, this can be more appealing for everyone, but if it is something where you're looking for kind of just the hustle and bustle of a little bit faster paced lifestyle, that would tend to be more Avalon speed. Now, even though Avalon is large compared to downtown Alpharetta with its spread out proximity as the actual city center does have a few other options because City Hall's right there. So not only do you have the immediate downtown strip where you're going to have your shops, restaurants, dining, retail feel, you also have City Hall, which has its own separate Brook Street Park behind it, which is great for kids to run around. There's a little stream there and a pavilion. Then you have some walking trails, as well as the main green space, which is now artificial turf and gives it easy access with a water fountain for families to kind of come on the weekends. In the holiday season, they actually take the fountain down and have a massive tree which is lit up, which creates a really nice picturesque location, especially for the kids to play and go out on the weekends. Also nearby to downtown Alpharetta in walking distance are a lot of little sub-sector communities. As you kind of go down the main street, you have the Hamilton Hotel, which is brand new, but actually looks like it's been there for many years, as well as the Speakeasy down below it. You also have Fetched, which is a new dog park area that's just opened up. You have the Maxwell, which is another little living, eating play space. And around the corner, not too far, is also Will's Park, which is absolutely massive and we'll cover completely in another video. So it is a lot in a small area, but doesn't really feel like a big city. Now, as far as cons go, it is definitely more uncontrolled than Avalon. Avalon, you have everything on the one strip, and it is more spread out for downtown Alpharetta. The downside of that is you kind of have to know what you're looking for. Even exploring, there's a lot of nooks and crannies and side streets. So unless you have an idea of exactly where you're going, you may not find all of the things that make it such a wonderful place. There are also limited high-end amenities. So if that is your vibe or you're looking for specific upscale shops or restaurants, that is going to be a little bit harder at downtown Alpharetta as well. Now, one of the big cons, especially because I lived right down the street, is the parking situation. Downtown Alpharetta has become so popular that the parking is very, very limited. So even more so from Avalon, you have to buffer some extra time because other than some street parking, there's only really one main deck that's across the street from the library that can be utilized. And it does get very challenging with all the people walking around, all the street lights, and it is very congested. Now, as far as a side-by-side comparison, let's just talk about the cost of living. Avalon is going to have a higher cost of living, whether it's the apartments are a little bit higher end. The actual townhouses and single-family residences, for the most part, do carry premium price tags, and you are also paying association fees. Now, with downtown Alpharetta, what you're getting is a large amount of options in terms of housing. There are apartments directly in the square, but you have a ton of townhouse communities that they've actually kind of created to look like they are older and historic and belong. And you get new homes in an old town feel, which can be nice for a lot of people. There's also condos, townhouses, and single family home options that are still walking distance directly to downtown Alpharetta. So it gives you a lot of diverse housing options, whereas Avalon's going to be a little bit more specific and kind of a one size approach. For events and things to do in terms of entertainment, both of them are going to offer a lot and pack a big punch, especially if you're looking for things to do on the weekend, a date night, if you're just trying to explore or be out with the kids. There is going to be something throughout the year for everyone at both locations. So I think it's pretty even on that. It's just a matter of what events appeal to you more. Now, when it comes to just overall living experience, Avalon's just going to feel like a little urban oasis. And then on the flip side of that, downtown Alpharetta is going to be this kind of small town feel. And I think you get people that kind of just prefer one or the other. And if they're going to be living in the area, they kind of gravitate towards that. But the nice thing is they're so close that you can go experience the other without feeling like you're missing out. And that's one of the great things about Alpharetta is everything is very close together, and it is now walkable in a sense where it doesn't feel like you need a car to get around everywhere all the time. Now, as far as living there, I've actually lived right in between both. I lived in a community called Academy Park, which is a townhouse community built by John Whelan, for those familiar with the builders in the area. And it is right in the center. So on the weekends, we would really just decide, okay, maybe we want to go to downtown Alpharetta one night, Avalon the other, or kind of vice versa. And it does create a lot of options. Now, as far as my opinion, if I had to pick one to live at full time, I think it would probably be Avalon, just because it does feel like a little bit more of a bubble where you only have to worry about the one main strip and everything right there. With downtown Alpharetta, I think it is a little bit more congested. It's going to be open community walking. You have to deal with a lot more crosswalks and traffic, kind of navigating all that. So it really just depends on what you feel. If I was looking for a charming date night with the wife, I would pick downtown Alpharetta because I feel like the restaurants are a little bit more personalized there. They give a little bit better ambiance, and it is a nicer feel walking around at night or grabbing a drink afterwards. If I was looking for shopping and kind of just overall place to bring the kids, knowing that I don't have to worry about a whole lot, that would be Avalon. Just because you have the pavilion, they can run around, and you don't have to worry so much about cars just coming and going all the time. Now, Avalon also has the hotel there, so if you were looking to stay, or they have Woodhouse Spa, if you were trying to enjoy a spa treatment, that kind of gives options as well, especially if family is staying in town. And that just makes it a little bit more of a place to be rather than downtown Alpharetta as kind of like the charming city center. So there it is. That's my side-by-side comparison. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would honestly love to know some of your favorite spots, whether it's Alpharetta, downtown, or being at Avalon, and maybe there's some that I haven't heard of. But I'm happy to answer any questions. Don't forget, my Alpharetta guide is down below if you're looking for more things to do and more information on the area. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks so much.